Looking agitated, my man. You're looking agitated. And what happens when you get agitated in the world?
I'm gonna be real with you, okay? I gotta get out of here.
You're not going anywhere. What's gonna happen if you...
All right? You guys need to do a little bit better.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving deep into a fascinating, intense interaction from Las Vegas, Nevada that took place on June 16, 2024. This incident, captured on the body-worn camera of a Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department officer, serves as a masterclass in the delicate balance between police authority and individual civil liberties. What you are about to see is not just an argument in a convenience store, it is a potential constitutional crisis unfolding in real time, involving allegations of racial profiling, unlawful detention, and the ever-present threat of a massive civil rights lawsuit against the city. This video was sent to us by a viewer, and it highlights exactly why understanding your rights is critical in modern America. Before we break down the legal nuances and the specific case law that governs this encounter, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, because we expose the truth that others are afraid to show. Now let us set the scene. It is a Sunday afternoon, Father's Day specifically, and the atmosphere inside this pharmacy should be calm, but as we join the footage we see a male subject in a black shirt standing at the checkout counter, clearly agitated but attempting to maintain his composure. The officer has just arrived on scene, likely responding to a call for service regarding a suspicious person or a potential trespass, but as we will see, the officer's approach and the subject's reaction create a volatile mix that teeters on the edge of a use of force incident. The video begins mid-interaction, which is often the case with these bodycam releases, giving us little context as to what happened prior, but the dialogue tells us everything we need to know. Listen closely to the subject's opening statement. He says, quote, I am gonna be real with you, okay? I gotta get out of here. You are not going anywhere, quote. This interruption by the officer is the most critical moment of the entire video from a legal perspective. The moment the officer utters the phrase "you're not going anywhere," the encounter has shifted from a consensual contact to an investigatory detention, also known as a Terry stop under the Supreme Court ruling in Terry v. Ohio 1968. For this detention to be lawful, the officer must have reasonable articulable suspicion that criminal activity is afoot. Simply receiving a call from a store clerk is not always enough to justify a detention unless the officer can independently corroborate that a crime has occurred or is about to occur. Here the subject is standing at the register, presumably attempting to pay for items or ask a question, which is perfectly legal behavior. The subject's body language is open, his hands are visible, and he is not making any aggressive moves toward the officer or the store staff, yet the officer has already decided that this man is not free to leave, stripping him of his Fourth Amendment right to be secure in his person against unreasonable seizures. This is where the potential for a civil rights lawsuit begins to form. If this man is detained without reasonable suspicion, he has a valid claim for false imprisonment and violation of his civil rights under 42 U.S.C. Section 1983, which could cost the taxpayers of Las Vegas thousands of dollars in a settlement payout. Notice the subject's reaction. He does not fight physically, he fights verbally and intellectually. He says, quote, you guys need to do a little bit better. You need to do a little bit better, okay? And I know you guys get hired for a reason. I know you go through protocols and everything, quote. This is a profound statement. It suggests that the subject is aware of police procedures and believes the officer is failing to follow them by telling the officer to do better. He is essentially accusing the department of incompetence or bias, suggesting that the officer is reacting to a stereotype rather than actual evidence of a crime. This kind of speech is protected under the First Amendment. The Supreme Court has ruled in City of Houston v. Hill that the First Amendment protects a significant amount of verbal abuse directed at police officers. While this subject is not being abusive, he is being critical, and police officers are expected to exercise a higher degree of restraint than the average citizen. Simply having an attitude or telling an officer to do better is not a crime, it is not obstruction, and it is certainly not grounds for an arrest. Yet we see so often in these videos that officers take offense to this kind of criticism and use it as a pretext to escalate the encounter. Notice the hand gestures the subject is using. He is emphatic, but he keeps his hands in what we call the compliance zone. He is not reaching for his waistband, he is not making fists, and he is not belating his stance in a fighting position. He is communicating his frustration with a system that he feels is targeting him unfairly. The store employees behind the counter seem frozen, unsure of whether to intervene or let the police handle it. This is typical in these situations where businesses use the police as their private security force, often calling them for minor issues that escalate into major constitutional violations. Looking at the officer's perspective, we have to ask, what is his reasonable suspicion? Does he believe the man is shoplifting? If so, where is the concealment? Simply holding an item in a store is not theft. Does he believe the Man is trespassing. If so, has the man been asked to leave by an authorized employee prior to the officer's arrival in Nevada? Trespassing requires that the person be warned and refuse to leave or return after being warned. If the officer jumped straight to detention without establishing these facts, he has stripped away the subject's qualified immunity. Defense in a potential lawsuit. Qualified immunity protects government officials from liability for civil damages, insofar as their conduct does not violate clearly established statutory or constitutional rights of which a reasonable person would have known. Every police officer should know that you cannot detain someone without reasonable suspicion, so if this officer lacks that suspicion, he is personally liable for the damages. The subject says, "I know you go through protocols and everything." This indicates he might have law enforcement experience or at least a deep understanding of the legal system. People who know the law are the most dangerous to bad cops because they know exactly when a line has been crossed and they know how to document it for a lawsuit. If this video continues and the officer places hands on the subject without probable cause for arrest, we are looking at a battery charge against the officer and a massive payout for the victim. Let us analyze the environment. The store is well lit. There are cameras everywhere, including the body cam. This is a high visibility environment. Officers typically behave better when they know they are being recorded, but in this case, the officer seems unfazed by the camera, asserting his authority over the subject regardless of the optics. Asking the subject what is going to happen if you implies a threat. Usually officers use this language to foreshadow a use of force. Quote, "What is going to happen if you do not comply is I am going to taser you," quote, is the subtext here. However, the subject cuts him off and controls the narrative, asking the officer to reflect on his own performance. "You guys need to do better" is a critique of the entire policing institution, likely referencing the history of tension between the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and the community. Strictly speaking, if the subject decides to walk away right now, the officer has a split-second decision to make. Does he physically restrain him? If he does, he better hope he has probable cause, because if he tackles a man for simply walking away from a consensual encounter, that is a clear-cut Fourth Amendment violation leading to a civil rights lawsuit that the department will almost certainly lose. Lawyers love these cases because the video evidence is indisputable. The officer's command, "You are not going anywhere," is the smoking gun. It proves the subject was not free to leave, which triggers the requirement for Miranda warnings if the officer intends to question him custodially. While this interaction is brief, it is dense with legal implications. The subject is essentially conducting a field performance review of the officer, telling him that his training or his application of that training is lacking. This flips the power dynamic. Usually the officer is the one judging the citizen, but here the citizen is judging the officer, reminding him that he was hired for a reason, and that reason is to serve and protect, not to harass and detain without cause. The phrase "I know you go through protocol" suggests that the subject knows the officer is deviating from standard operating procedure. Standard procedure for a suspicious person call is to observe and report, or to conduct a consensual interview to ascertain what is going on. Jumping straight to a detention suggests a bias or a lack of patience, which are liabilities in law enforcement. Looking at the equipment, the officer is wearing an Axon Body 3 camera, which has a pre-event buffering feature, meaning it captures the 30 seconds of video prior to the officer hitting the record button, although without audio. This feature meaning it captures the 30 seconds of video prior to the officer hitting the record button, although without audio. This feature is crucial in lawsuits because it often shows the officer's demeanor before the interaction heated up. If we had that footage, we might see the officer storming into the store aggressively, which would further support a claim of excessive force or bias. The timestamp 17:01 Zulu time indicates this is happening in the late afternoon, a time when the store is likely busy with customers. The presence of bystanders adds another layer of liability if the officer uses a taser or a firearm and misses, or if the struggle injures a bystander. The city faces negligence claims from multiple parties. The subject's black shirt and gold chain are details that might match a description, but descriptions must be specific. Simply being a black male in a black shirt is not enough to support reasonable suspicion in a city as diverse as Las Vegas. Courts have ruled time and again that generic descriptions do not justify stops, yet we see it happen every day. This is the bread and butter of civil rights attorneys, finding cases where officers used a lazy description to justify an illegal stop. The officer's stance is not fully visible, but the shadow suggests he is standing square to the subject, blocking his path to the exit. This is physical detainment even if he hasn't touched him yet. The courts look at the totality of the circumstances. Would a reasonable person feel free to leave in this situation with an armed uniformed Officer blocking the exit and verbally commanding you to stay. The answer is clearly no, therefore this is a seizure. The subject's plea for the officers to do better is also a plea for de-escalation. He is giving the officer a chance to walk back the aggression, to treat him like a human being rather than a suspect. Unfortunately, in the heat of the moment, officers often interpret this as a challenge to their authority, known as contempt of cop. While not a legal charge, it is the motivation behind thousands of false arrests every year. Officers arrest people not because they committed a crime but because they failed to show the proper deference to the badge. This fragile ego policing is exactly what leads to civil rights lawsuits and massive settlements paid for by you, the taxpayer. The subject's demeanor is actually quite calm given the circumstances. Many people would be shouting or cursing, but he is speaking in a measured tone, explaining his position. This makes him a sympathetic plaintiff in the eyes of a jury. If this goes to trial, a jury will look at this video and see a reasonable man trying to reason with an unreasonable officer. That is a winning formula for a lawsuit. The mention of getting hired for a reason implies that the officer has a duty to the public, a duty that he is currently failing to uphold. This is a moral argument as much as a legal one. The subject is appealing to the officer's sense of professional pride, asking him to be the officer he was trained to be rather than the bully he is acting like. Now let's talk about the potential outcome if this man is arrested for obstruction or resisting without violence. Those charges are often dropped by the district attorney before they even reach court because prosecutors know they are losers. They are nuisance charges used to punish people for exercising their rights, but the arrest itself is the punishment. The man spends a night in jail, his mugshot is online, he might lose his job and he has to pay for a bail bondsman. Even if the charges are dropped, the damage is done, and that is why civil rights lawsuits are so important. They are the only mechanism we have to hold officers accountable for these punitive arrests. The financial penalty of a lawsuit is the only language that departments understand. When a city has to pay out millions of dollars in settlements, they are forced to change their policies and training. So in a way, this subject, by standing his ground and documenting this interaction, is performing a public service. He is exposing a flaw in the system that needs to be fixed. The timestamps on the Bodycam are precise: June 16, 2024 T17:01:40Z. This precision allows investigators to sync this footage with the store's CCTV, giving a multi-angle view of the incident. Usually the store footage will show the subject's behavior before the police arrived, confirming that he was doing nothing wrong. This exculpatory evidence is often withheld by police during the initial investigation, which is a Brady violation, another legal concept that can lead to a lawsuit overturning a conviction or sanctions against the prosecutor. Ultimately, this video is a snapshot of the American criminal justice system in 2024, a system where citizens are increasingly aware of their rights and are not afraid to assert them, and where police are struggling to adapt to a world where every action is recorded and scrutinized. The subject's final words in this clip, "I know you go through protocols," are a reminder that police work is not about feelings or hunches, it is about rules and laws. When officers ignore those rules, they don't just violate the rights of one person, they erode the trust of the entire community, and they open the door to civil rights lawsuits that drain resources from the very communities they are sworn to protect. As we watch this, we must ask ourselves, if this happened to me, would I have the courage to speak up like this man did, or would I remain silent? The answer to that question determines the future of our civil liberties. Thank you for watching this in-depth analysis of the June 16, 2024 Las Vegas incident. If you want to see more Bodycam breakdowns that reveal the truth behind police misconduct, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and remember, knowing your rights is your best defense against tyranny. Stay safe and stay free.